Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Andrew Carlo Cardenas. I am a 25-year-old veteran living in Long Beach, California. I am also currently enrolled in OCC in Costa Mesa, California. It has now been a little more than 3 years since I left the United States Marine Corps as a combat engineer, and it has been a hectic experience adjusting into civilian lifestyle. For the time that I have been out, I have made a ton of mistakes and gained a wealth of lessons too late while attempting to use veteran benefits. Through these mistakes, I was forced to change my habits and comfortability tendencies. However, the benefits gained from the constant appointments, trial and errors, studying, and hasty uncomfortability are absolutely worth the reward in the end.
This video was inspired by my growth through these mistakes. My main goal is to promote and hopefully convince all you veterans to take the leap and use your rightfully earned benefits to improve your life both physically and mentally. Now, there are a multitude of benefits that veterans can sign up for. However, the main four topics that I would like to cover are going to be the GI Bill, VA disability, VA healthcare, and the VA loan. These four benefits can absolutely assist you out of a bad financial situation, support you in pursuing education and job interests, looking after your health, or assistance in executing steps towards a successful future. Throughout these topics, I will also be covering some steps you can take while you're in the military in order to set yourself up for success during and after your transition.
Now, to start off, I want to make it very clear that I do not speak for Orange Coast College, the Veteran Affairs, or Department of Defense. I am strictly speaking on my own behalf and experience. Now, for those who didn't pay attention during the transitioning classes, here's a quick recap of what the Post 9/11 GI Bill is and how it can assist you in reaching specific career goals or in education. The GI Bill, as defined by the VA, helps you pay for college, graduate school, and training programs. It can assist you in working towards a degree, taking classes from home, or finding specific training in a career, trade, or industry. The main way that you are assisted is through full coverage of public or state tuition fees for your time in service, with capped rates for private or foreign schools. You can compare different schools or institutions with the GI Bill comparison tool on va.gov under Education and Training. As you can see from the screen, I compared 3 different schools: California State University in Long Beach from the west, University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center from the south, and New York University for the east. Now, depending on where you decide to attend and the area's cost of living, it will greatly affect how much you receive in housing allowance per month, per semester. With this tool, you can also compare tuition and fees, how much the GI Bill pays to the institution, how much you may have to pay out of pocket, and your annual book stipend. The process may seem very tedious and lengthy at the beginning. However, when you receive more guidance and assistance from the school staff and counselors, you can absolutely have a paved path to whatever type of education or career you would like to follow. In order to see if you qualify for these benefits, you can easily request a COE, Certificate of Eligibility, on the va.gov website under Education and Training. Upon acceptance of the COE, you will send it to your school, notifying them of the type of benefits that you would like to use. Qualifications include all of the following being on or after September 11th, 2001. Those being you served at least 90 days on active duty, either all at once or with breaks in service. You received a Purple Heart and were honorably discharged after any amount of service, or you served for at least 30 continuous days all at once without a break in service and were honorably discharged with a service-connected disability. And lastly, you may be a dependent child using benefits transferred by a qualifying veteran or service member. All of the information that you should have gathered prior to requesting your COE and also applying to your school are going to include your social security number, your home address, your bank account direct deposit information, education and military history, as well as your school's name, location, and study topic. Another massive benefit of going back to school is you may be able to find a job on campus. Some of those benefits include scheduling that correlates with classes, time to work on homework and projects during those work hours, as well as an additional income along with your BAH. I personally struggled a lot with trying to find the fastest way to get into school and just getting back into school in general. So I highly recommend seeing if your school has a VRC, a Veteran Resource Center, in which you will be provided with a veteran counselor, also expedited registration dates, a familiar environment with other veterans, and other veteran privileges. The next topic that I would like to speak on is something that all of us veterans owe to ourselves, and that is attention to the mental and physical injuries that occur to our bodies and our minds during our time in service. VA disability compensation offers monthly tax-free payments for veterans who got sick or injured during their time in service, and to veterans whose service made an existing condition worse. Let's quickly go over the different percentages and what each has to offer for compensation. Then we will speak on eligibility requirements and how to prepare for evidence gathering. As you can see, depending on the type of injury or disability percentage that you rate, you have the opportunity to receive compensation starting from around $171 all the way up to $3,700. Also, depending on your situation, you may be eligible to add both of your parents, a spouse, and your children. Now check it out. I don't care if you sprained your ankle in S1 or your back hurts from rucking with a 50 cal receiver. You absolutely need to go and claim your disability. Now, it is very well known, and especially in the Marine Corps, that your leadership is going to try and stop you from going to medical, as it may stop you from going on different field ops. However, my advice is if you absolutely have the time, you need to go to medical while you are in the service to log your injuries. The more medical evidence you have during your time in service will make it much easier to gain a higher percentage and an easy claim when you get out or during your transitioning. And a higher percentage will result in more compensation. In order to be eligible for these benefits, you must have gotten sick or injured during your time in service, as well as served on active duty for training, or inactive duty training. Also, one of these must be true. You got sick or injured while serving in the military and can link this condition to your illness or injury. You had an illness or injury before you joined the military and serving made it worse, or you have a disability related to your active duty service that didn't appear until after you ended your service. All of the evidence that you should absolutely gather prior to your claim are going to include medical test results pertaining to each claim, in-service medical records, in-service surgeries, your MOS description, supporting statements from friends, families, and peers, as well as a detailed description of injuries, areas of pain, and how it affects you in your daily life. In order to maximize your chances of your claim getting accepted, I highly recommend going through a VSO, a Veteran Service Office. The VSO will assist you in gathering all of your evidence, setting up initial screening appointments. They may also be able to pay for your trips to the appointments and expedite your disability claim with constant communication with the VA. You can easily start your claim on the va.gov website under Disability and How to File a Claim. Lastly, if you receive a disability percentage of 10% or higher, you may be eligible for VRNE, Veteran Readiness and Employment. VRNE assists with job training, education, employment accommodations, resume development, and job seeking skills coaching. Other services may also be provided to assist veterans in starting their own business or independent living services for those who are severely disabled and unable to work in traditional employment. VRNE provides 5 different support tracks, those being the Reemployment Track, Rapid Access to Employment Track, the Self-Employment Track, the Employment through Long-Term Service Track, and the Independent Living Track. The reason that I personally wanted to bring up VRNE is for option number 4, which is the Employment through Long-Term Service Track. If eligible through the Long-Term Service Track, you may qualify for another 38 plus months of schooling, matched with the same monthly allowance that the GI Bill would cover. This benefit, combined with the GI Bill, means you could potentially have up to 8 years of school fully paid for. In order to check if you are eligible for VRNE, simply go to va.gov and click on Career and Employment and click on How to Apply. Next, let's quickly go over some benefits of applying for VA healthcare. Upon leaving the military, all veterans need to understand that you are no longer covered medically or with dental. However, the VA offers some basic healthcare for veterans that you absolutely need to sign up for during your transitioning. Before we jump into it, one other main reason that you absolutely need to sign up for VA healthcare is that in some states, there is a penalty fee on taxes for not being medically covered for the full 12 months. That fine being up to $900. However, once accepted into VA healthcare, you are covered for the full 12 months, canceling out that $900 fee. Although VA healthcare may not be the best or quickest type of healthcare, they still cover a large amount that can assist you in improving and maintaining your health. The basic healthcare services that the VA provides are preventative care, which covers health exams, health education, and immunization and counseling, as well as inpatient hospital visits, which cover surgeries, medical treatments, kidney dialysis, acute care, and specialized care. Lastly, urgent care facilities and walk-in clinics are also covered for the basic healthcare services package. In order to apply for VA healthcare, you can simply go to va.gov under healthcare and click on how to apply. Lastly, I would like to touch on a topic that I am still pursuing and chasing myself, and that is the use of the VA home loan. Now, to refresh your memory, what is the VA home loan? The VA home loan offers 0% down payment, flexible credit requirements, flexible debt to income ratio, as well as the VA guarantees lenders 25% coverage in the event that you default on your payments. Some other amazing VA loan opportunities include the lowest rate of foreclosure for loans, the highest performing loan for banks, a minimum of a 500 plus credit score, and you can also use the VA loan multiple times depending on the VA's entitlement calculations. Some of the requirements that come with the loan include you must have to live in the unit for at least 1 year, you must have served 90 days in active duty, and you must go through VA appraisal and inspections. Now, the main reason that I decided to bring up the VA loan in the top 4 benefits is due to its ability to obtain rental income. Using the VA loan, you have the opportunity to close on a multifamily property, in which you are able to use 75% income from the additional units. You also should at least have a 680 plus minimum credit score and 6 months of PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, saved in either your TSP, thrift savings plan account, or regular savings account. For more information on the post 9/11 GI Bill, VA disability, VRNE, VA healthcare, and the VA home loan, please check out some of the links that I have provided below, where they go into a much more detailed version of each one. Finally, I would like to attempt to show you all what it looks like for a veteran to receive all these benefits with an old friend, Schmuckatelli. Now, for this remaining time, we're going to assume that Schmuckatelli only did 4 years of his enlistment phase, and he successfully received his DD-214 and is currently in his transitioning stage. Now, the smart thing for all veterans to do is to leave a breadcrumb trail of evidence all throughout your enlistment phase, no matter how long it is. This way, when you get into your last year going into your transitioning phase, you have a wealthy amount of evidence that you can use on your claim. Now, in Schmuckatelli's case, we're going to say that he received a 40% disability rating from the VA. And according to the VA, as of 2024, a 40% disability rating equals $755.28. Now, although a 40% disability rating isn't too difficult to achieve, there are a few details that we need to remember. The first being that claiming disability is a personalized experience, meaning your rating will be completely different and will depend on your personal injuries and claims. The second being that some veterans have the option to add dependents, and you can add children, a spouse, or some veterans also have the opportunity to add their parents. Lastly, depending on your injury and if it worsens over time, you can keep following up, resulting in a higher increase. Now remember, disability compensation is untaxed monthly compensation for your entire life, placing Schmuckatelli at $9,063.36. Next, we're going to say that Schmuckatelli decided to go to Fullerton College in California, where the VA places that BAH at $3,531 per month per semester. Now, assuming that Schmuckatelli decided to do full-time school, attending winter, spring, summer, and fall classes, and he also qualified for 38 plus months of GI Bill, it would put him around $48,347 per year. Now, the first topic that I would like to touch on for this detail is, once again, it is a personalized experience. Some veterans live in different states where the BEH is going to be a much different price. Some veterans also may not qualify for the full 38 plus months of schooling, and some veterans may also not be able to attend school full time, making that BEH a much different price as well. Second, I would like to touch on the time frame for classes. Some classes require a certain amount of time, and that will also affect your BEH. For example, during the summer classes and winter classes, some classes may take 6 weeks, and some classes may take 8 weeks. Lastly, for the GI Bill, you may also qualify for a book stipend depending on your school, which is $1,000 annually. Now, if Schmuggatelli wanted to stop right here, he absolutely could. Assuming that he was able to receive the full 4 years of school fully paid for, it would put him at $58,410.36 every year for the next 4 years. However, in Schmuggatelli's case, we're going to say that he is being the motivator that he is, and he got a job on campus. Now, what that would look like is a X amount of dollars for X amount of hours a week. In this case, we're going to say he's doing full-time per month, per semester, which we're going to place him at around $1,800 per month per semester and $18,000 annually. And if you add that as another type of income to the GI Bill and disability, it's going to put you at around $76,410.36. Now, understand that this is all a what if scenario. However, I promise that this is completely obtainable. There are veterans that I know that are taking advantage of every single opportunity that they can and making even more than this right now. Now, once again, this is all a personalized experience. Some veterans have the time to work and some don't. However, once again, this is completely obtainable. If executed correctly, you can absolutely use these next 4 years of school to raise your income, raise your disability percentage, and chase whatever type of career path you would like to follow.
I completely understand this may seem like a lot of goals to tackle all at once. However, I promise that with a well-executed plan, some dedicated time to appointments and calls, a ton of financial stress will be relieved. I am no professional by any means, but please feel free to contact me on Instagram at the link below, or comment down below if you have any questions that I may be able to answer. With that being said, have an outstanding rest of your day, and stay tuned for more veteran lifestyle tips.